Hello, my name is Lisa Marker Robbins. I'm the founder and CEO of LEAP. Welcome to your college essay coaching process. This is step one. We're going to instruct you on getting a winning essay to help you get into the target schools for college. Your process will look much like this. This is step one. This is where you're watching your video along with consulting your curriculum that you were emailed in the form of a PDF to learn what is required for these college essays. We'll talk a bit today about brainstorming and how you're going to get started with this brainstorming. That brainstorming step will be writing several free writes that you will then submit to your assigned essay coach with LEAP for evaluation. Once those are submitted, then you will have a phone consultation, about 15 minutes or so, with your essay coach who will already have looked at your free writes. Your coach will help you decide which of the Common App prompts we're considering for you to write on based on your submitted free writes. Next, you will start writing your rough draft at home on your own. Once you have a rough draft complete, you will email it to your coach who will then return to you with feedback via email. It's vitally important your rough draft is a Word document or Google Doc so your coach can make notations and corrections for you. Next, you will submit a second draft with changes based on your coach's feedback. At this point, you should be pretty close in word count and feel really good about what you've written. The coach then is just taking a look at it to make sure it's polished, it's error-free, it's putting your best foot forward to make a terrific first impression with the college of your dreams. Now, if you're scratching your head and you feel like you need additional sessions because, let's say, you're an engineering type and writing is not your passion or your strength, additional sessions are available as needed. We've been doing this since 1999 with students from all over the country and outside the country who have gotten into a wide variety of schools from community colleges to state flagships and private schools, as well as the Ivy League schools. We can tell you for most students this learn, brainstorm, write, revise, and polish approach, this number of sessions is usually enough. If, though, you feel additional time is needed, don't be afraid to ask. At this time, you may need to go ahead and stop watching the video. If you don't have your curriculum printed out and you've not read your curriculum ahead of time, then you should pause and read it now before moving on. If you have read it and you've looked over it, keep your curriculum handy throughout this video presentation so we can reference it. At times, I'm going to instruct you to pause the recording and read something in your curriculum. College application essays are extremely important because a lot of what's going on in your application are numbers. It's objective data, GPA, possibly class rank, ACT or SAT scores, and possibly even SAT subject test scores. You've got somebody else's voice in your application in the form of a recommendation letter as well. Outside of the few schools that actually offer interview opportunities, your essay is going to be your one opportunity to market yourself to the college with your own voice. This is not a time to be shy. This is a time to tell them how great you are and why they would want you at their school. College admission officers will tell you they can tell when it's a parent's voice and not a student's voice. So don't be tempted to have your parent write for you. You get to go to college. They do not. Do essays matter? We're asked this a lot. Is it something that you really should spend a lot of time on? It absolutely is. What I've done here is gone into the common data set for 6 different schools to see what they say is important for admission. What you're going to notice here is for the sampling of these 6 schools, and this is true for the vast majority of schools across the United States, they all rank the application essay as either very important or important as to whether you get in or not. Sometimes the essay will even outrank GPA or standardized test scores, as you can see here. So it's vital you spend the time going through the tried, tested, and true process LEAP's established to get a great essay. There are some key tips for writing a winning essay. First is to find your voice. You may not be a great writer, but we're going to help you find that voice so you can market yourself to the college of your dreams. Keep to the limits. Most schools, if they don't have a minimum, will certainly have a maximum. College admissions officers are reading hundreds, if not thousands, of essays to figure out who they're going to offer a spot to at their school. If you're writing an application that allows you to go over word limit, the Common App does not. Be respectful of the admissions officer's time by keeping to the limits. Be honest. That means not using somebody else's work as your own. It also means not doing things like embellishing the truth. If you do and it's discovered by the college, then they will revoke an admission decision, even if they previously offered you a spot at their school. They do have the ability to run applications through plagiarizing software that will search the web for somebody else's words you may have used. The essay is your opportunity to stand out. This might mean pushing the limits. It might be doing something really creative that feels maybe a little crazier out there in your essay, but be balanced. Don't step too far over the line as you try to stand out. And finally, be polished. You never have a second chance to make a great first impression. The essay itself will be biographical in nature. When I say this, it's your story. It's about you. As I say that, though, I want to tell you that it's probably just a small snapshot that could be as small as maybe a 15-minute or hour period of your life. It might be a day of your life. Last summer, I worked with a student who got into every Big Ten school to which he applied and got into the honors programs as well. His initial essay he brought me actually spanned a 6-month period of time with snippets from that 6 months. Remember, he was trying to get that into 650 words. That's really hard to do. His final essay actually ended up being on that same topic, but it was literally the story of a half-hour dinner he had with his family that was a turning point in the life of their family. So he took what he thought he needed to cover, which was 6 months, and got it down to only a half-hour time period, and it really ended up being an excellent essay. The Common App essay prompts are released each spring. We've had them since March for this upcoming admission cycle. They were actually few changes from the previous year. We use the Common App essay prompts because there are over 700 very reputable schools using the Common App, and you will undoubtedly be applying to one or more of these schools. If you happen to also be applying to schools that don't use the Common App, schools that have their own application or are using the Coalition app, the Texas system, or the California system, don't worry. Those essays are typically biographical in nature as well, and you'll be able to edit and adapt whatever you've already written to fit their essay prompts. June and July are the best months to develop your essay because you've got some downtime during the summer. If you are listening to this and have a later start date, don't fret. Our approach still works. College applications are going to go online right at August 1st, and we encourage you to start filling out your applications at that time. Even if you aren't on the final list of schools to which you apply, you can go ahead and start your essay. Be ready to write some more. While we have the personal statement prompts early on, supplemental college essay prompts are often not released until the application is released in August. You can contact colleges to see if they have them ahead of time, then start writing supplemental essays over the summer as well if you have the prompts. If you're going to apply for scholarships, you're also going to have to do more writing that you are going to be well prepared for. The great part about going through this process is we're honing your writing skills so you'll be right and ready to go for all essays. So what are the current essay prompts for the Common App? Here they are. Anything in italics is a modification to the prompt from the previous year. Anything that is entirely in italics is a new prompt this year. These are also in your curriculum, which you should have out and handy. So this might be a great time to go ahead and pause the recording and read through these essay prompts. See that they're biographical in nature. It's always good to start with the end in mind. We even talk about that with college selection. What do you want to do for the rest of your life? Then figure out what college can equip you to do it. What finally will you be writing? And then we'll go ahead and start the process at the beginning. Keep the end in mind as we start, so go ahead, hit pause, and take a moment to read through these now. As you are writing, you want to keep in mind just a couple of rules. There are strong word limits on the Common App. It will not allow you to type word number 651. It is a hard stop, so be ready for that. If you're doing a non-Common App essay and they don't have a hard stop, please be respectful of those who will be reading your essay and don't push way past the limit. It's okay, say, if you're at 655 words, but don't take it out to 700 words when they've told you 650 word max. When you actually get into your application in August, once they go live, in the Common App, you can either type directly into the text box, which we're not going to encourage you to do, or you can take what you've already written in a Word or Google Doc and copy and paste it into the actual application. Some applications, non-Common App, will allow you to actually upload a Word document to the application. So those are a number of options of getting your essay into your application. You really want to aim to do your very best work. As you are looking at your curriculum now, you'll see that you've been given a rubric, and it starts with what an excellent essay looks like. This is on the screen, and it's from what an excellent essay is and what you're striving for. This really is a checklist that you should have out and available once you get to the rough draft stage and the revision stage, asking yourself, is my essay accomplishing these things? One of my favorites is number 3 on here. I want to read an essay that as I read it, the individual, you, are telling me your story, and your language choice is pulling me in so that I feel like I'm a spectator and I am watching this happen. It evokes emotion and feeling for what you're going through, good, bad, or ugly, whatever it might be. It's very important, and that's what we mean by showing rather than telling. Your coach will help you get to that point if you have a problem getting there. So again, I'm not going to read through these right now. If you need to, it might be a good time to hit pause. Read through all the points in the rubric for what an excellent essay looks like. Next in your curriculum, you have 4 sample essays of varying degrees. After each one of those 4, you've got some questions we ask you. If you've not yet taken the time to read these 4 sample essays and answer the follow-up questions, I'm going to ask you to pause the recording and do it now. An important part of the process is that you are being exposed to other students' work that got them into college. So I would like you to stop and do that if you've not, because it is important to see those samples before we take you to the next step, which is your own brainstorming. Now that you've had a look at samples, you're ready to start your own brainstorming. This starts on page 9 of your curriculum. You're going to choose at least 3 of our pre-writing prompts to get you thinking in the right direction. You've got 2 full pages of possible prompts. So before you pick 3, don't just do the first 3. Pause the recording. Take some time to look at these. Come back to our video after you've read them. We actually only have a few slides to go. What you're going to do is pick at least 3. You might even want to write 5 or 6 and just start writing. Get your ideas and your words out on paper. Don't worry about length. Don't worry about grammatical errors, spelling, staying on topic. Just start spewing and spitting out ideas on paper to get you thinking in the right direction. Once you've done this, you're going to read through your brainstorming prompts and you're going to email your top 3 to your LEAP writing coach. This starts your engaging with your coach on getting a terrific essay. What happens next? Once you've emailed your free writes, your coach is going to contact you to set up your phone conference. Before your conference, she will have already read your brainstorming. In your call, you're going to go back through those and they're going to go ahead and help you decide which of the brainstorms could possibly turn into a story, a vignette, of an experience in your life that you'll be able to adapt to one of the Common App prompts. That then will be the final prompt you're going to write to. After your conference, you're ready to start writing on your own. This will be your rough draft. You're going to be cognizant of word number, but don't overly worry about the 650 word limit. If you're up around 700, we can get it down to 650 words. LEAP can help you get it there. In your first draft, you're going to work on being organized, on staying topical, great word choice, evoking emotion, all the things that are in an excellent essay. So you should have that checklist out while you're writing. Once you feel like you have a solid rough draft, you're going to submit it via email to your coach for feedback. Your coach will then return it to you with feedback. You're going to then work on what you feel is a final copy. Once you have your essay to that point, then you're going to resubmit for a final polish. This is where your coach is going to go ahead and make sure it's grammatically correct, error-free, within the proper word count, that it is evoking emotion, that it is exactly what you need. If your coach at this point thinks you may need more work, they may suggest extra sessions, or you may be the one to suggest that as well. But our aim is to then have a polished essay by the end of the process. Who are our coaches? This is one of them. This is Christy. She's also our client relations specialist. We have 5 coaches. They range from people who are writing professors at colleges and also advanced placement English teachers. They are college counselors. I can assure you our team has gotten acceptances at local colleges, elite schools like Northwestern, Georgetown, University of Virginia, as well as the Ivy League. We have a proven track record of success since we've been at it since 1999, and we want you to fully take advantage of that track record, our process, so you're able to stand out from the crowd like LEAP college applicants of the past. If at any point in this process, you have a question, Christy is your person to contact. Email is the quickest way to get a hold of her. But if you need to call, there's her phone number as well. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions, but most of your interactions will be with your LEAP writing coach. Finally, LEAP does a lot beyond essays to help get you into college. We have test prep, application reviews, college selection coaching, and even interview prep. We also have a lot of free stuff to help you. We have a college bound blog that has many different posts on topics ranging from testing to college selection, applications, and the financial side of college. So we encourage you to use that resource often. We also regularly post on Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and engage with us there to take full advantage of working with the LEAP program here in Cincinnati, no matter where you are. So at this time, you're ready to start writing. Go ahead and get started, then reach out to your LEAP writing coach and we'll be ready to help you get a polished essay for the school of your dreams.